Honorable Adams.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, Mr. President, Mr. Deputy President, Members of Parliament. We are a nation in mourning. We mourn for our young people that are simply a lost generation. Former President Mandela's health prevents him from continuing to inspire the youth with hope for a better life for all. Former President Mbeki no longer reminds the youth of how great it is to be an African born from this land. All this country is left with now is a president that is at the forefront of a government that robs its youth from a future. Our youth is being robbed from the opportunity to be educated. They are taught to know at least 30% of their curriculum in order for them to pass matric. For 12 years, these young people have been institutionalized and brainwashed only for them to discover that there is no future for them, even with those matric certificates. And once they have passed matric, the government develops an attitude of, don't call us, we will call you, because now all those promised jobs have not materialized. With limited access to tertiary institutions, no jobs available, and even the farmers and mines no longer employing more workers, this government is forcing young people to turn to crime for survival. But young people also urge for leadership from this government, and it adds no value if this government is being referred to by people as the living monument to corruption. For months, reports have been in the media about Minister Pule and the alleged dodgy dealings with her boyfriend. The President has not provided any immediate leadership in this matter. But then again, our President has not said a word about the more than 200 million rands of taxpayers' money that Cabinet deemed fit for the inheritance of the Zuma children. We always read of millions being spent on new furniture for houses and offices of ministers. But when it comes to spending the money for the delivery of services, then task teams must first be established only to report about the reasons for the government's inability to deliver. The message to young people by this government is loud and clear. It is our time to eat, even if we have to eat from the plates of the youth. But worst of all, Deputy Speaker, is the deliberate actions of the President to divide young people on the basis of race. He does not understand that he is killing the hope of the young people to live in a united South Africa. First, he allowed racial slurs from Julius Malema in his presence, and now just recently, the President stated that spending money to buy a dog and taking it to the vet and for walks belong to the white culture. Does the President not know that he must speak out and on behalf of animals? This is both a necessity and an obligation. Does the President not know that even the famous Mahatma Gandhi stated that the greatness of a nation and its moral progress can be judged by the way in which its animals are treated? Former President Mbeki reminded us of being an African is to embrace all cultures in our country, but our current President tells us that it is un-African to have a dog. The young people of this country is now confused. Will they be African enough if they take care of their dogs, like what Mahatma Gandhi and President Mbeki campaigned for, or should they follow the colonized thinking of President Zuma and his government? It is quite clear that with President Zuma as the leader of this country, national unity will simply be a pipe dream. Deputy Speaker, this year I thought the President will reach out to South Africans and declare war against the crimes that violate the human dignity of our women and children. But the President once again went through the motions of simply making another statement. Scores of crimes committed against our women and children remain unresolved. The killers remain unnamed because the police only tune into action if they have to kill protesters. Deputy Speaker, if the President once again did not provide leadership at the State of the Nation address, then for how long must South Africans wait for leadership? Die land is aan die brand en ons President is besig om op sy pos aan die slaap te raak. Last year, during the Child Protection Week, President Zuma urged the community in Kimberley to teach their children about the legacy of colonialism and apartheid. Almost 20 years down democracy lane, this government is still not advocating the teaching of youth about the Constitution and democracy. Hopefully, with the National Development Plan in place, this government will no longer live in the past. Deputy Speaker, the young people of today want to focus on the future and not the past, but with the President constantly reminding the youth about the past will only divide the youth on the basis of race. Soos ek gesê, die land is aan die brand en die regering moet wakker slaap. Suid-Afrikaners is besig om weg te beweeg van die verlede en stem nou vir die toekoms. Ons kan nie stories van haat en apartheid eet nie, maar ons kan wel brood eet as werk voorsien word. Daar hoef nie meer bloed te vloei van oproerige stakers nie, maar wat wel moet vloei is lopende water in krane. Ons kan nie meer kwaad wil bly oor sekere mense in ons land wat ryker is as die ander
Your
nie.
time has expired, Speaker, Honorable Speaker.
I have no option but to conclude that this government being led is unfit to govern. Thank you.